Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of the OCNJ Local, your podcast for everything happening here in America's greatest family resort. We're your hosts, Dominic Doherty and Drew Fazy.
And we are your local guys.
Drew, somebody called me that the other day. I was standing around, they're like, "Oh, look, it's a local guy," and I was like, "What?" I was like, "Huh?" Took me
Really?
by surprise. Yes. I was quite honored because they themselves are an Ocean City legend, at least according to the case out in front of the library. So I was like, "Oh, all right." Maybe people are finally paying attention to what we have to say. I don't know why, but they are. Uh, so, but yeah,
Throwing
man,
enough
it's
stuff against the wall, some of it's going to stick, Dom.
surprisingly, I can't believe it. It's been a while though since we've been on. Lots of fun stuff has happened, and lots of fun stuff is happening around town. But we're going to save that for another episode. I think the
Yes.
biggest thing that happened in our area since we last recorded was, the Eagles and their domination of the Kansas City Chiefs. So, I've been thinking to myself, I'm like, I remember when they won back in 2017, and that summer was made just a little bit better because everybody had on Eagles Super Bowl championship stuff. So it was like, all right, I can deal with this invasion of Delco and various other, Philly suburbs, just because you got to, relive that feeling every time. So
And that was a domination. That was
it it
the
was.
Eagles just whoop they ass, as they say.
BTA, I believe, was the expression that
Yes,
CJ
BTA.
Gardner Johnson was using.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, um,
So Dom, do you have a countdown? I have it if you don't.
I don't have it, Drew. I was going to look it up, but I was busy looking up some of our local kids who have had some outstanding athletic performances. How many days until Memorial Day? I think we're less than
We are
100.
91 days until Memorial Day.
Wow,
91
that's pretty
days.
awesome.
Yes, it is.
I don't know if that's good
Yes,
or
it
bad,
is.
actually. I don't know. I don't know. But it's going to be here whether I like it or not, or we like it or not. So,
I can't wait.
yeah, I'll definitely take a break from this weather. The past couple of days, I was leaving the gym the other day, and I passed this one person, and they're like, "Oh, it's so nice out." I'm like, "Yeah, it's only 30 degrees." She's like, "I know, it feels like 80." I'm like, "Yeah, you're pretty right about that one, actually."
Yeah,
So
it's been a
it's
chilly
been
winter.
cold, dude. It's been
Yeah.
cold, but things are wrapping up, and I think we got what 3 weeks left until spring, the official start of spring. So that's nice.
Yeah, about that.
But
End of the month.
you got
So I
some
have
shout
some
outs for
shout
us?
outs.
You took the
I
words
have some
right out of
shout
my
outs.
mouth, literally.
Okay. So shout out number one. Um, a local Boy Scout, Cooper Grimm. Coop is 12 years old. He's a sixth grader. He's going for a merit badge, and that is a community merit badge. I probably don't have that exactly right, but it's a community merit badge, and he had to identify a problem in town, something that he's concerned with, and then he had to talk to a local official about the potential to resolve that problem. So Cooper's issue is that at the intermediate school, if you want to, if you live in the neighborhood across Bay Avenue, or if you're a teacher who parks in the neighborhood across Bay Avenue and you want to cross Bay Avenue to get to school safely, you either have to go to 18th or 20th Street. And he thought that it would be a great idea if they had a mid block crosswalk crossing Bay Avenue. I'm not sure exactly of the street. It might be Spruce, but in around 19th Street, in the equivalent of 19th Street. So Coop went to the last Thursday's 10 a.m. city council meeting in his Boy Scout uniform and made this presentation to city council, including a drawing. And if you've ever been to city council, you have 7 councilmen, you have the city clerk, you have the business administrator, you have the mayor, and you have the legal counsel sitting at the table. A bit daunting. So you see adults stammer a little bit. Public speaking is Americans' greatest fear. Above dying, they're afraid of public speaking. So in walks Coop with a prepared, couple minute presentation and fills it in front of city council and the mayor. Did just a phenomenal job. I was super impressed. So shout out to Cooper Grimm, A, for identifying the problem, B, for making the presentation in a really, really, really good way to city council. It's not done, but from what I gather, city council and the administration heard him, thought it was a great idea, and are trying to work with the county to get a mid-block crosswalk to make going to and coming from the intermediate school safer for everyone. So shout out to Coop.
Good
The
job, Coop.
other shout out I have is to the OCHS girls 138-pound wrestler Dana Ramirez. Dana won the South Jersey Regional Championship after winning the Cape Atlantic League Championship and now qualifies for the state championships. I could be wrong, but I believe that she's the first and only girls wrestler from Ocean City to have won both the Cape Atlantic and the regional tournaments. We know Dana, we know her brother, and I've coached her brother, Dylan. Both great kids. Dana is an outstanding kid. So shout out to Dana for winning the Cape Atlantic and South Jersey regional wrestling tournament.
Kudos. Wrestling is a very difficult sport.
Yes, it is.
On to some other, I got a couple shout outs here too. Some other Lady Red Raiders who are making a splash here in athletics in the wintertime. The Ocean City girls middle distance and distance programs continue to shine here at the state level indoors. You got girls placing, in the top 5 in the 800, the 1600, and the 3200. So in the 800, you had Carly Godfrey take 4th place in the state group 3. Lillian Flora took 13th in that race as well. In the 1600, Maeve Smith took 3rd. Chloe Kerr took 6th, and Carly Godfrey took 7th. And then in the 3200, Maeve Smith came back and got 5th, and freshman Riley Townsend took 8th. So, growing up in the area and being a distance runner, Ocean City, girls cross country was always one of the dominant programs, and they continue to live up to that tradition. So good for them. And then
Lady Raiders.
Yeah. Looking forward to see what they do in the springtime when they get out on the big track and, really start to move. And then you have a changing in the guard here with the Ocean City High School football program. Coach Kevin Smith, who retired from teaching in December, has chose to step down as the head coach and pass the torch over to longtime defensive coordinator and his right-hand man, Sean Matthews. So shout out to Coach Smith on a great career. I believe it was 23 years on the sidelines with the Raiders. And, big shout out to Sean Matthews, the new head coach. Looking forward to seeing what he can do and how he just kind of continues to grow the program. I reached out to Sean and I said, "Hey man, like congratulations, like, good for you. Happy to see the program go to you." And he's like, "Yeah," he's like, "I can't wait to be my whole family's excited about it." He's got two young boys and, his wife works hard. So, to take on a head coaching job is no, it's not you
It's a
don't just show up on
365-day job.
yeah, you're not just showing up on Friday night and saying, "Hey
Yeah,
guys, let's play some football."
yeah,
But the thing that stood out to me in his answer, he's like, "Yeah, I'm looking forward. We're all looking forward to being more of a member of the community." So I was like, "All right, man, that's cool. Like, that's exactly what it's about."
yeah. And
So
if you know Sean, I mean, high energy, positive guy, loved by the players. Just a great replacement for Kevin Smith. I mean, I think Sean's going to do a phenomenal job in that program.
yeah, Kevin left some big shoes to fill, and if anyone can come close to filling them, and if not, continue to carry the torch, it's Sean. So,
Yep,
you know,
yep.
kudos to the school board for making a good choice, and keep building upon something that is 8 years plus of making the state playoffs. Not many teams can say that, so good for them.
Yep,
And then
yep.
my last shout
And
out.
they have the best. Sean has a little bit something to lean on coming in as the head coach.
This is
He's
true.
got the best chain crew in all of New Jersey.
I've heard that from many refs, many officials on the sideline. Not many
Absolutely.
people can handle the pressure of spotting the ball, and it's he's lucky. He's lucky.
He
So,
is.
but my last shout out's kind of a sad shout out. Took place today. Shout out to another community member who does a lot with Ocean City sports, Matt Ulmer, and his family in the passing of the founder of Ulmer Appliances, Tom Ulmer. So condolences to you and your family, and wishing you guys peace and love here in this time of grieving.
Yeah, unfortunately, the family, the kids have lost both Liz and Tom inside a year. As I think I've mentioned to you, I coached Matt uh, in baseball when he was 13 years old. Now he's a grown adult and just a good dude. Just Matt's just a good, solid guy. His parents were just salt of the earth, hardworking, good community people. So we share our condolences to the Ulmer family.
Yeah, sad times. Um, so it's always hard to follow those ones, and
Yeah,
unfortunately, over the past couple episodes, there's been quite a few of Ocean City members,
legends.
yeah,
Yeah,
who've passed away. Help make this America's greatest family resort. So
and just such
um,
a great community with people like that.
yeah. Well, speaking of a great community, our guest today on this episode is Caitlin Quirk. She is the head of the Downtown Merchants Association, as well as the owner of Bowfish Studios, Drift Spaces, and the soon to open Garb, all on Asbury Avenue, all in that downtown shopping district. She takes a minute from her incredibly busy schedule to sit down with us, explain to us what's going on Asbury Avenue, what we're seeing with the vacant stores, and what it means to be a member of the Downtown Merchants Association. Um, so
With some serious experience. She's had her Bowfish store on the avenue for 10 years. She's had the Drift Spaces for 3 years now, I believe, right? And
five, I think it
fi-
was. She said,
five, you're right, five
but
years.
opening up in March of 2020, I believe she said. So
That's
first
right.
2 years are kind of a wash.
Yeah. And now a new store, and she experienced on the boardwalk, now on the avenue for 10 plus years. So she gives us some good insight.
Yeah. So stick around. We'll be right back with Caitlin and all the great info of everything going on here downtown, especially some insight into what's happening here in the next couple weeks. And for all you shoppers out there, there's definitely a good tip about a big event coming up soon. So stick around. We'll be right back. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the OCNJ Local. Joining us is Caitlin Quirk, president of the Downtown Merchants Association, as well as a business owner here on Asbury Avenue. She owns Bowfish, Drift Spaces, which is above Bowfish. It's a shared workspace where if you're in town and you're looking to, get out of your crowded rental for a little bit and get some peace and quiet and do some work, you can come up and work there. It's a beautiful space. And she's taking on another project opening here soon, Garb. So with all this on your plate, Caitlin, we really appreciate you taking the time to join us on the show today. Thank you so much.
Yeah, appreciate the invite and looking forward to chatting with you guys.
Excellent. So tell us, obviously Bowfish Kids has become a staple on the avenue. It's very rare you don't see young ladies coming out of there as mermaids and princesses and all kinds of awesome stuff going on there. My daughter's gone to countless birthday parties and come home with beautiful braids. Tell us a little bit about what you got going on the avenue. And I'm very interested to learn more about this new space you're talking about, Garb.
Yeah. So what do I have going on the Asbury? A little
So
bit of
how
everything.
long has Bowfish been open, Caitlin?
So we are going on to our 13th summer.
Wow.
13th summer.
Yeah.
Wow.
When I started, I actually started up on the boardwalk. So I got a little bit of both districts under my belt. I started up there. I was next to Johnson's Popcorn on 14th Street. It's actually 13th Street. And I was up there for 3 years. And then, after my lease was ending up there, I had to make a decision, like if I was staying or going. And it was really important for me to be part of the local community. And I realized pretty quickly it's hard to do that up there. So made the move downtown. And honestly, it was the best thing I did for my business. So super happy I made that move.
So you're coming up on 10 years in that location.
Yep. 10 years.
Wow. And how about Drift Spaces? How long have you been there?
Yeah, actually, that's where I'm at right now. I'm in the space.
I was going to say that, but I didn't want to put that out there. I figured you were there.
Yeah, I'm here. We opened March of 2020.
Perfect timing.
Oh yeah, it was great. We had fully booked out all of our spaces. And then on March 15th, swiftly closed. So that was fun. We got really lucky and was able to hang through the pandemic and, have been operating since. So
good for you.
It's a great space. We had a meeting up there. So tell everybody what you offer in that space.
Yeah. So
aside from loud dinging noises.
I'm going to turn off my cell phone there. So we offer day passes, which is kind of like our best deal that you can get. So if you are, just in town for the summer or weekend or whatever, we actually have a lot of people who rent with us year round that just want to get out of their house. Working remote is very isolating if you just never leave your house. So you can come hang out with us here. You rent a desk. So we have cute little spaces, lots of plants. We love plants here. And it comes with a kitchenette. You can come and go. We also have these really cool sound pods. They're actually really good if you do podcasting or, have to have a serious meeting where you just need to kind of zone out. So you can rent those. And then we also have monthly rentals as well. So Another cool thing about the space is it's a completely single-use free space. So we provide any like cutlery and coffee and stuff that you would need, so you don't actually have to, have any waste there. And the space also is completely transformable. Everything's on wheels, so the whole space gets empty, and we can reconfigure the space. We do corporate retreats and private events. We've had yoga classes up here, all different things.
So as a business, you can lease the space and have a meeting for an hour or half a day or a full day, or
we mostly do it on full day rentals just because it's not really conducive just for like 1 hour. But we do a lot of like small company like retreats or meetings. Our space is really perfect for like 20 and under in a working capacity. We also do private events. Like I believe it or not, we've had like bridal showers here, weddings here. And we can host up to 50 in like a cocktail style setting.
Wow.
So yeah.
It's very cool. It's very cool space. It's very very warm and comfortable.
Thanks.
So place to work for a day. I mean, it's not cold office space. It's a very warm and comfortable space.
Yeah, the plants. It's the plants that do it.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And then now you have a new venture opening. You call it Garb. Tell us a little bit about that and brains behind that.
Yeah. So the legal name of it is Our Garb Collection. I like to call it Garb for short. And where I kind of came up with the name of it is Garb means, if you look it up on Google really quick, it just means unique and distinctive clothing. And what
Don't encourage Dom to go to Google, please. Not during the podcast.
Okay.
He's got a weakness.
I'm already there, Drew. I'm already there.
You got the two screens going? Is that what's happening?
Oh yeah, I'm there. I'm on Google. I'm lost in.
Sorry to interrupt you, Caitlin. Yeah. I couldn't help myself.
Yeah. So what the space provides actually is a boutique experience to secondhand shopping. I like to say it's like Poshmark, but in person. And it eliminates all of the hassle of having to resell your clothes online or on Facebook Marketplace and potentially get murdered by someone showing up at your house, The space is going to be all booths. We're going to have 78 rental booths available, and you can rent a booth in 5-day increments. So you can rent it for 5 days, 10, 15, 20, 30, 60 days. And what you do is you come and you set up your clothes that you want to get rid of, and you set your price, and we sell it for you. And you don't have to deal with the hassle of manning the store or doing anything as far as like having to like advertise the items. Basically, we're giving people a brick and mortar experience where they can kind of sell stuff in their closet that they're not wearing anymore. And
do you think Drew would be able to sell some of his excess cargo shorts in this store?
Well, I mean, there is a market, I guess, for cargo shorts because he keeps buying them, right?
I mean,
that's a very good point, Caitlin. Thank you. So, is there a market for the clothes that Dom outgrows as he puts on weight?
Always, because I have a great wardrobe. No, and I save those because eventually they'll fit again in like 20 years.
That's right.
When I shrink down from my elderly, when I get to your age and I start to shrink again.
Yeah.
So Caitlin, the booths, what size or size are they? Single size or you different sizes? Or
so they're all the same size. They're 20 inches deep by 30 inches wide. And you also have the ability to put either like clothing bar, or you can do shelves. So like say you have a shoe collection that you want to sell, you can just do all shoes if you want. And the real intention behind it and the real passion piece for me is I became really obsessed with trash in 2019 and have been trying to eliminate trash and waste in all of my businesses ever since I took a tour of the dump, the Cape May County dump. So I can like spout out like a ton of trash facts for you if you guys ever are interested. But one that I'll throw out there right off the bat is if you go and donate your clothes, you know, you take it to a bin or down the street or one of those, I have them at the grocery stores, like there's like clothing donation bins. If you donate your clothes, approximately only 25% of the clothes that you donate actually will remain in circulation. Because by the time you take it, bag it, and then it gets received and maybe it gets wet or it gets put into a pallet, it's never like only 25% of it is actually going to get reworn again.
Really?
Yeah. A lot
That's
of it.
disheartening.
It is. And a lot of it, most of it gets shipped overseas or just ends up in the landfill. So I really wanted to create a place where people would keep clothes in circulation and make it easy for them. Because for myself, I don't have any extra time to sit and photograph each item and try and list it on Poshmark and then deal with, you know, having to communicate with people about the item and then have to ship the item. It's just like, I'm not going to do that. And honestly, when you're selling on Poshmark, you're competing with millions of people on that site to get visibility. So now you have to make yourself a freaking Poshmark influencer so that people can see your closet. And I don't know, I don't do it. But if I could have a place where I could just bring my stuff in a brick and mortar setting where I can set it up, I mean, I would be more apt to do that. I'm a very tactile person, so I actually don't really prefer to online shop. So I really want to, even when I'm buying secondhand clothes, like I want to see and touch it and feel it and try it on before I buy. So having it in a space where you can go in and see it is going to also sell the secondhand items quicker too.
So
Very
are
true.
you gearing the store toward any demographic?
Nope.
Specific? No, it's going to be open.
Yeah.
So there's hope for those cargo shorts and my
There is
clothes
hope.
that are too small.
Well, I brought that up because Caitlin, you and I had a conversation about specifically in Ocean City, the teenage girls, and I'm sure the boys too. They go through clothing, and it's not, when I say go through, I don't mean wear out. I mean styles change or sizes change certainly, and so you know, parents of teenage, specifically girls, constantly going through a ton of clothing. So having an opportunity to resell that locally, I'm sure is going to be met by a lot of parents very positively.
It's funny you bring that up actually, because the origin of me actually getting that space was so Jilly's operation owns that building, and I'm very friendly with Jody. And when they were looking to fill the space, Jody actually called me and he was like, "Hey, Caitlin, you know, you have this really great kids store, but you know, my daughters outgrew your store and I don't know where to shop for them anymore. Like, I really think you would do really well if you kind of opened a store in that next age range." And I had already had this idea for this space, like in my head before he told me about the availability of the space. And I said to him, I was like, you know what, Jody, I actually have this other idea, which actually will meet the need of your daughters. Specifically because for girls that are like even young boys, ages like 12 and up, there's definitely a hole in the market as far as clothing stores for them. Because once you're out of size 10, which is what we carry up to, you kind of go right into an adult size, extra small. So there really isn't that in between size between that and an adult extra small. And really, when you're young like that, especially if you're a young girl, your style is your identity, right? So you're going through clothes a lot because it's how you express yourself. So, you know, having an ability to do that at a really low price point, and also not another thing that I am trying to avoid is keeping that demographic of young new shoppers off of sites like Shein, which offer really cheap products that are horrific for our environment and actually really horrific for you because they're made with really terrible products. I mean, the amount of lead that they've found in stuff from Shein is, I mean, it's criminal, but it's so cheap that people buy it. So, my intention really was just to elevate secondhand shopping so that people would buy quality too. So we're going to have a list of banned brands that are not allowed to be carried in the store, Shein being on the top of that list.
Really?
Cargo shorts maybe at the bottom, but I haven't decided yet. But yeah,
Look,
Shein.
let's just put that to rest. I'm not getting rid of my cargo shoes.
Oh, all right.
I'm not doing it.
All right.
He's only got 2 pairs, so you can't give up one.
No.
We're in real trouble. But no, that's awesome.
Great concept.
I familiarized myself a little bit with what you're talking about with waste and trash, especially in the fashion industry, and it's it's kind of absurd the amount of clothes that are actually thrown away.
Yeah.
So that's a really cool concept, and looking forward to seeing what that looks like and checking it out. Would you have an opening date for that? Were you're putting that out there yet, or?
I am committed to March 23rd. It was
wow.
The date.
What's the significance of that date?
It's the date I opened Bowfish. So
there you go.
Yeah.
Full circle, like it.
Yeah.
Like it.
Whether 100% finished or not, it's getting open.
Cool. So in addition to all this stuff you got going on, you also find time to be the president of the Downtown Merchants Association. So what does that role involve for you, and what does that look like?
Yeah, it's honestly, it's a really rewarding position to be in. It's part of the BAND organization. So BAND is Business and Neighborhood Development. Within BAND, there is actually 3 districts. It's the downtown, which comprises between 6th and 10th Street, up to 11th. So it includes 10th Street. And then it also includes the boardwalk, the entire boardwalk, and also the 9th Street corridor also is part of BAND. And what that really is when you are part of that district, you actually pay an additional tax it's for, we use it for advertisement, entertainment. It's for the betterment of the district. And our group gets to, discuss how those funds are used, what types of activities we do. And we meet once a month to kind of talk over all of those things that we want done. And we work really closely with the city and the chamber for all of our events and activities and marketing. And yeah, it's great because we get a real say in kind of what we use those funds for, as far as, helping people be aware of the districts and offering different things. For the downtown, our big initiatives that we spend a good chunk of our money on are our Tuesday and Thursday events that we have in the summer. We provide like a slew of entertainment, face painters, balloon people,
Music,
pony rides, all that kind of stuff, which helps promote, people come to our district and shop. So we also do like stuff with beautification, and we have Girls Weekend coming up, which is like our big thing in April, first weekend in April. I'm also going to do another plug for Market Madness, which is the only cross-district event that we have, which is going to be March 8th and 9th. Let me make sure I'm not speaking wrong here. Yes, March 8th and 9th. It's all downtown merchants and boardwalk merchants are able to go. We're having it at the Civic Center this year. And we have like all of our discount stuff that we're trying to kind of get through before the season. So there's a lot of good deals to be had.
Cool.
And super cool. This year, we have added food trucks to the event. So it's the only food truck event in all of Ocean City. So if you want to get some Las Olas in Ocean City, you can come visit us on March 8th and 9th at the Pacific Center.
Oh, no, Taqueria Rondon from Northfield.
We were trying to keep it local.
That was for Dom.
Oh,
It's a good spot if you
It
haven't been
is.
there.
I have. It is very good.
Yeah.
So, Caitlin, how this specific episode started was a conversation. No, it wasn't a conversation. It was something that came up at the city council meeting a month or so ago, where Keith Hartzell was talking about the downtown. I don't remember honestly how the conversation started, but having empty storefronts in the downtown. You have Ward's Pastries. You have it's a place across the street. It used to be the card shop. You have Ron John's now.
Hallmark.
Hallmark. That's the one I was thinking of. So, can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah,
Because I think it's based on what I heard from Keith, who lives downtown, but you're the Downtown Merchants Association president. I think we'd like to hear your thoughts on it.
Yeah, I mean, all of the properties that currently are vacant or that have paper up, truly are not rented because it's either, I mean, it really is, it's a landlord issue, right? There's ton of space even on my block. There's one spot that's been vacant for, I want to say, like 5 years. It's it's right, it used to be the old Frey shop. It's kind of in between Asbury Kitchen and Bath and Tada. It's right in between the two of them. And that property specifically, I can't tell you how many people I know, other merchants that have tried to rent that spot. And the guy that has it just does not want to rent it. He has been saying he's going to be putting some type of like deli in it for a while, but I mean, he owns the building. He gets to say what happens with it. So no matter who wants access to it, it's his prerogative. And honestly, that's the same on the 700 block. That Hallmark store has been vacant for, I think, 5 years now. The guy will not rent it. So we've had a lot of discussions about it, and even the city has been really helpful with trying to make them at least keep it within the beautification standards with putting up paper. Because at one point the Hallmark one like had graffiti on it and was just like turning into an eyesore. But they can't force anyone to rent their property. It's private property.
And that's the same with Ward's, right?
Yeah, that one I know. The fella who bought the property and tried to renovate it, he kind of just got into a situation where I guess he went for zoning and it just like didn't pan out. So he owns the property. He intended to put his own store in it. And I think at this point, like he's just trying to renovate it and I know he put in plans for it to be like a full tear down and like a full new build.
Yes.
But I don't think like anybody, like I don't even know why he's got that for rent sign in there, because no one's gonna like rent it in the current capacity it's in.
Not in a condition to be rentable.
Yeah.
And then you had mentioned Ron John's.
Mm-hmm.
I saw that. So it's a big store, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nice location there, 8th and Asbury. But the ask on the rent.
Yeah, you know how much that is?
$9,000 a month, triple net.
9,500 plus triple net. And for those of you,
9,500 triple net.
Yeah, triple net means that on top of the rent, you're also responsible to pay the property taxes, the insurance for the building, and all utilities. So all in, you're probably looking, I could guess, probably close to 12 grand a month.
Certainly over $11,000 a month.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but like that kind of rent, I know there was a big name retailer that they were courting to try and get in there. From what I had heard, that fell through. But I mean, nobody, and I've been here 10 years now. If I had to pay $12,000 in rent, I wouldn't make it. Like it's not feasible. So,
Sure.
I don't,
$12,000 a month. You're talking over $130,000 a year.
yeah.
You got to sell a lot of t-shirts or cookies,
Yeah.
right?
Or you got to sell some really, really high end merchandise to make that
So
back.
the point there, that's really a landlord issue.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I
So
mean,
are there any stores that you're aware of in the downtown in your district that are vacant, that are not rented because they can't find a tenant?
there's only, out of all of the properties that are currently vacant right now, there's only one property that is currently for rent that they're actually seeking someone to go into, and it was the old beach bike warehouse. And their rent is reasonable. It's like $3,000 a month. They just listed it, and I'm sure that one's going to get rented very quickly, because that's really the only game in town at this point. If you are looking for a new space on Asbury, that's the only property available that you can rent.
So that's between 6th and 7th.
Yeah.
7th and 8th.
No, that's
Between
6th
7th and 8th on the ocean
Yeah,
side.
sorry, 7th and 8th. Yep.
Yeah. So
Yep.
you're right there on the
So
ocean side.
having said all that, and that just came on the market.
Yeah. Vince left I think like right at the end of the season. And I think they were renovating or doing something inside, but
They
yeah.
painted over the awesome mural he had in the
I know.
windows. I was a little bummed about that. I was hoping that would stay. Because I live right there, and I walk past every day. I was like, oh man.
Yeah.
But oh well.
So I guess the point is, Caitlin, that the concern that there was that there were open stores on the avenue, and what does that mean, right? Shouldn't be a concern. And from my standpoint, my perspective, I mean, our avenue is thriving. I mean, I was down there today. I saw you today, right?
Yeah.
It's hard to find a parking spot on Asbury Ave. There's people, as you said, the La Authentica, people in and out all day. There's people on the avenue all day long. I mean, is my perspective off, or do you feel it? What's your feel about the avenue?
I mean, like I said, I've been on the avenue for 10 years now. And we are open every single day. The only day we are closed is Christmas and Thanksgiving. And
damn, Christmas was the day I was going shopping for preteen clothing.
Oh man, Christmas
He was coming in to get a mermaid makeover, I think, that day.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
He would look great with some scales on your forehead, Drew. Sure.
But yeah, no, I mean, I feel so fortunate for the business that I have and the support that we have for the community and the year-round community. I tell anybody that is considering opening a business downtown is you should target the locals first and the seasonal people second, because the locals are the ones that are going to carry you through every month year round, and they're the ones that are going to tell the seasonal people about you. So I think business is great. I'm willing to open up a whole nother store, even on what they consider the 1000 block the D block, I guess. Because the 700 block is A block. I guess 800 would be B, 900 would be C, and then 1000 would be the D block. But
700 is A?
Yeah, that's like
Really?
the prime number one block. Yeah, highest rent.
I would have thought, between just not being a downtown merchant, I would have thought between 8th and 10th would be.
Yeah, same.
Now, well, I guess unfortunately with the stuff that honestly, the hardest hit block right now is the 700 block with the vacancies that they have. I mean, Keith goes around and he's like the watchdog of that block, and he's like really good about like making sure that everybody like makes it look nice. But there are right now, I think four 4 or 5 spots that are currently not operating.
Wow.
One
And
of
that's
them,
again because of the landlord, aside from the bike room.
yeah, and it's also like, for instance, that it's old Foglio's. That is going to be like a coffee shop community space, but the current owners of that space, again, it's like that they have been working on that, like, I want to say over a year.
Yeah.
It has
And
been over a year for sure.
they, no one, it's like, we live in a capitalistic society, right? No one can force you to do something with your property, unless the only thing we can do and the city can do is make sure you keep it within compliance for like the beautification and aesthetic standards.
Right.
But you could just buy, if you have an extra millions of dollars, you could literally just buy property and never open it if you want. That's just the reality of it.
Thanks for letting me know. I
And
was
that's
thinking
where
about
we are
that.
with a few of those locations. Yeah. I can tell you 700 blocks. So I think, my wife works at the
The
sneaker
sneaker
shop.
shop.
Yes. And
This
man,
guy.
they do a heck of a business there. They have, she'll be in there on a Tuesday in bad weather in February and come home exhausted because she was so busy. They do a heck of a business. And that's, they have a good business. Certainly they have a good business and a long time there and a lot of dedicated customers, but it's the avenue.
Well, I think it
Again,
also,
I just, my perspective is I see an awful lot of traffic on Asbury Avenue year round.
yeah, and I think it really speaks to how special our downtown is, right? When you go into the sneaker shop and you go shop with them, you are having an amazing shopping experience, right? They come in, they will wait on you hand and foot. They'll let you try on all the different shoes. Like you're more than just like a number to them in a local business, right? If you go to
Yep.
I don't know, Dick's Sporting Goods, like they could care less, like literally in the sneaker shop, they will wait on you hand and foot.
Yeah.
Yeah, you literally punch in a screen at Dick's and they just bring you out your shoes and then they go away.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember I've gotten several pairs of sneakers from them, and like they'll go over all the different types that they have and why this one is better for this type of running, for this type of activity. That's the type of experience that you can expect in a downtown, and I think that's actually what makes our downtown so successful is the stores that do that type of customer service.
Totally agree. So is that the kind of experience I'm going to get when I go into Garb?
Garb's going to be a little bit of a different animal though, because it's not our merchandise.
Right.
So we can only in sneaker shop, like they know exactly every part of their product, right? For us in Garb, and honestly, like it's a completely new concept for me, so I got to figure it out. I don't know, but we're not really there to sell. If anything, we're more to educate people on why it's better to buy secondhand and give them the avenue to do so. So I don't know. I gotta figure all those things out.
Well, I peeked in the store and it looks fantastic. New floor. Lots going on in there. It looks great. So, based on your other businesses, I'm quite certain that you're going to do real well there. So that store, so everyone knows, that store is at 1016 Asbury Avenue. It's on the on Asbury between 10th and 11th on the Bay side, opening March 23rd.
That's right.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Caitlin, so much for taking the time to join us today. Giving us some insight into what's going on, not only in your world, but in the downtown.
Yeah.
Thank you for heading up and putting on all those great events for everyone here. I know that Tuesdays and Thursdays when my kids were smaller were the days that we looked forward to. And it's great to see them just expand and keep going. So thank you so much for that.
Of course. And before we do hop off, I do want to educate people too on what the SID district, we kind of touched on the SID district. But I think I have a little bit of a bone to pick with the realtors because there are businesses that aren't within the 600 and 1000 block of Asbury that, you know, the reason why the buildings on the 11th Street versus 10th Street are, you know, go for less money is because they're not part of that said district. And a lot of times, people will get sold on a property like further down Asbury, like, oh yeah, it's on Asbury Avenue, it's great. But what they don't tell you is that if you are not between 6th and 10th, like you cannot be part of the Downtown Merchants Association, which, you know, has a lot of really great things to be part of the membership. You know, the membership comes from you paying that SID tax. And if you don't pay into that SID tax, then you can't be part of all of our activities. So
Sure.
just a little food for thought, because I don't think anybody talks about that when they're showing properties on the downtown, you know?
And
So-
should, yeah, and they should. They should be aware of that.
And it's interesting though too, because like the block party and stuff I know extends outside of those
Yes.
to the quote unquote district.
Yep.
You know, and it's a shame that they don't really include the majority of Asbury Avenue, because you have a lot of good things going down even in the northern end of the island. You know, Doozy's place just opened up down there on First and Asbury. You have Cousins that's been down there for so long. You know, one of the only dinner spots on the island. You know, so you do have other businesses, and then even when you get down, you got like staples like Boyer's that's been there for over 100 years now.
Oh wait, did you see though? I saw it was for sale.
Really?
Oh my God, I hope I'm not like speaking out of turn, but I saw on Facebook like it was listed or something.
Boyer's
Wow.
Market?
Yeah, I hope I'm not making that up, but I'm speaking
I
out
have
of turn.
not heard that.
Drew, you have to get Drew. Your ears are slipping more so than just your
I
hearing.
apologize if that was fake news, but I could have.
We will find out. That's going to be, Dom and I talked about, there's a lot of stuff going on in town that we got to get.
Yeah.
Get
caught
to,
up
yeah.
on. Yeah.
But I mean, even like you
Fake
think,
because I love that place.
Yeah,
I hope
same.
so too. I would be absolutely shocked.
Yeah.
yeah, that would be sad.
So
Yeah.
if any of those businesses, it's kind of funny. We've actually talked about it in length in our meetings about how to include more businesses, and really, like, unfortunately, you would have to get every single business on that whatever block, because we had talked about getting the 1100 block included. You have to get every single one of those businesses willing to pay that SID tax. You can't like cherry pick. It has to be all or none.
Sure.
So for that reason, like, they haven't been able to expand it at all. And for the businesses that reside outside of those districts, like, luckily we have like a really strong chamber of commerce that you can be a part of to participate in different types of events. But I think when it came down to them creating this, it was part of the city's like master plan of like creating strong shopping districts. And they were trying to entice also like businesses to stay within those areas, so it would be a stronger downtown. But yeah, those are my thoughts.
Well, it's
Okay,
that
good.
area that you talk about has definitely had a resurgence as of late. I would say, you know, within the past 10 to 15 years. Asbury Avenue is just, I think, with all the efforts of the Downtown Merchants Association and being members of that group, they've really driven traffic and like you said before, enhance the shopping experience. And I think that's what gets people to keep coming back, because it is quaint, it's nice. You can go from block to block and get so many different items. You know, Christmas shopping is always fun because, you know, you can get whatever you want. So
What's the it's home to over 100 unique shops, restaurants, and art galleries. That's us.
Yeah, and we actually have been doing a lot of work on promoting our shoulder seasons. I think for the downtown, like, we really thrive during the holiday season, like especially in the last couple years. I think people have been more conscious and making more of an effort to support local so that their local businesses don't leave. So our holiday shopping season is like, it's super, super strong. Thanks to our locals and our residents that live right over the bridge. Because I see a lot of people from the mainland that come in to Ocean City a lot.
Yeah.
Which I think just speaks to what a strong community we have. So.
And I agree. I think a lot of people over the past, 5 years, let's say, are making much more of an effort to shop local.
Yeah,
So,
I think people are getting tired of and you're seeing it, right? Like every couple months, I just hear of another big box retailer, going into bankruptcy and closing. The most recent, which is like totally breaking my heart, is Joanne Fabrics. I'm so sad about that. But I think people just are really looking for that one-on-one like community experience. I think what we all had happen to us during the pandemic and the isolation that occurred really just made people want to be in community even more. So a way to do that
totally
is,
agree.
yeah,
Totally agree.
Yeah.
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 All right. Well, Caitlin, thank you.
Yes.
Thanks for coming on. Thanks for all your knowledge and expertise on the downtown, and we look forward to your new venture.
Thank you. And make sure all of our friends who are listening out there come visit. One last plug here. All of your favorite downtown and boardwalk merchants at Market Madness on March 8th and 9th. We got food trucks and the best deals of the season. So
At the Civic Center.
At the Civic Center.
And that's it all day, both days?
All day, 11 to 5, both days.
11. That's my kind of timing. I like that start time.
Just after the second nap of the day.
Yeah.
Right. Awesome.
Well, I'll see you there in your cargo shorts, okay? We're going to make them free.
And my Maha hat.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. This has been the OCNJ Local, your podcast for everything happening here in America's greatest family resort. Peace out, everybody.